Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series. I am Jayzon, and once again, I'm joined by my new co-caster, Ysera, and there's supposed to be an @ in front of that. There we go. Yes, you can follow my cat on Twitter now, at YAwakened on Twitter. Why Awakened, you may ask? Because she's Ysera, the Awakened, despite the fact that she's always asleep. Anyway. Welcome, everybody, to this Division B West match. Logical Decision versus Scorpius Eternum. So, I'm excited to see how these two teams match up. Should be an interesting matchup. Logical Decision coming off the heels of playing two matches last week. So, quite the schedule that they had built up for themselves. They managed to go 2-1 in one match and 1-2 in the other. Scorpius Eternum actually going 0-2 in their first match the first week, so looking for a bit of a bounce back on their end. And right now, it looks like we got 9 of our 10 players in lobby. Right now, we're just waiting on one member of Scorpius Eternum to show on up. Logical Decision, one of our more staff member friendly teams. We got 2 of our analysts, Ziltoid and Wono. I want to give them a shout out. And then, of course, Ulysses, also playing on that team. So quite a lot of big names in NGS over there. Board members, analysts, everything. And I haven't seen a whole lot from Scorpius Eternum. I think they played their first match against, I want to say, Arrogant Nephilim last week. Now I'm going to have to look. Let's see, calendar. That'll help. Or no, I'll just go to the rounds. Yeah, that'll work. Head on over to B West. I'm still kind of learning to navigate this new website a little bit. I got to be honest. Yeah. Oh, Wholesome Halfwits. That's who it was. Yeah, that was on B-Trade's channel. So Wholesome Halfwits starting off 2-0. But, it's early in the season, so, not only are these teams going to grow quite a lot, but we're going to learn a little bit about these teams. We got Soak Every Lane and Wholesome Halfwits Thursday night. That should be a pretty good matchup as well. But let's go ahead and take a look at the bans and the picks for this matchup. Again, I want to thank Weenus for this awesome map tool. Logical Decision winning the coin toss, electing for first pick. So Scorpius Eternum with the first map ban, they took out Dragonshire. Cursed Hollow then banned out by Logical Decision. And then map number 1 picked up by Scorpius Eternum. Now, of course, as each team loses a match throughout the series, they will then get the option of whether they want first pick or map pick. And on until game 3. Well, I gotta be honest, that's about it for what I had prepared for the pregame, but we're still just waiting on that last member. Well, that's okay. They've got some time still. I'm not too worried. So how's everybody doing tonight? I see BMed in the chat. He's rooting on Logical Decision. BMed, a fellow analyst in arms, if you will. Works over there closely with the team, so it's always good to see people popping out to support their fellow staff members. Got a few interesting matches tonight as well. Tuesday turning out to be one of the busier nights of the week, along with Wednesday and Thursday. 15 matches Thursday night. That's going to be rough. That's going to be hard to cover. But we'll see. We'll see how many of those we can get casted. Anyway, looking at tonight, Frankfurters versus Noodle Fiasco should be an interesting matchup. Noodle Fiasco trying to bounce back after a rough week 1. That's over on 2D channel. Actually, yeah, it should be live now over there. We've got PFM versus Lexorian Sun. Was it 6 o'clock? I think that match might have finished already, 6 o'clock. So, but that was over on Murda's channel. Meanwhile, Sack of Bricks versus Asmo Carry going to be going on right now. By the way, if you guys haven't seen Asmo Carry's logo, it's pretty special. It's something really good. In fact, I could probably bring this up. Let's see if I can just quickly add it on here. Let's see. Yeah, there it is. We'll put it nice big right in the middle of the screen. There's Asmo Carry. So you guys should check them out just because of the power of that incredible logo. Looks like we got our 10th. We're ready to go. Let's get on into this match, boys and girls. We've got some places to be here in the Nexus. Game number 1, Infernal Shrines between Logical Decision and Scorpius Eternum. So, of course, Infernal Shrines, a map where a lot of teams really favor the wave clear. Be meta ho, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it, my friend. Welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for being J-baited. I do that all the time in video games, but it's always a special treat when I get to J-bait people in stream. It's not as common. Ha! That Asmo Carry. I'm looking back at the stream. It's a powerful image. Anyway, we got Dahaka, Imperius, and Anna banned out to start. No surprise on the Anna. Logical Decision, of course. As I said, a couple of analysts over there. We've heard them talking a lot about Anna on the Nexus Edge show that both Ziltoid and Wono are on. By the way, shout out to Nexus Edge. You guys should go watch episode 2 that was released this morning, if you guys have not already done so, on the YouTube channel for NGS. Nubarak banned out on the other side, so very high priority on the tank ban-outs, and I love the response from Logical Decision. They say, okay, you're going to ban out 2 of the strong frontline warriors in addition to our Dahaka ban? Well, we'll just go ahead and take Diablo then. We'll get our pick of the litter. And Diablo, very strong on this map. There's a lot of terrain in these shrine areas for him to be able to charge people into, including the mid-pyre. It's going to be very difficult to deal with. Kael'thas going to be the pickup with Garrosh on the other side. So Scorpius, Eternum wanting to get themselves a tank before the chokehold is out. Kael'thas with a wave clear. Jaina also on the wave clear on the other side. So Logical Decision making sure to get their mage in before the next ban phase, and the healer as well. So now they're in a position to apply that healer chokehold. Not to mention, Diablo can be a very good follow-up tool with the Tyrande, or other way around, really. The Tyrande follows up the Diablo. And then the blow-up potential from Jaina on top of that can be very scary to deal with, even for somebody who's really tanky like a Garrosh, because that armor reduction is going to be huge in terms of trying to get him down. Now we will see Blazed banned out on the other side, so once again trying to limit the solo lane pool a little bit. Considering that they're going to have the next solo lane opportunity to pick one here, I do like that ban. It's kind of a pseudo choke out on that role, especially with the Haka already gone. But as expected, we'll see Logical Decision take out the support they'd like to see the least, I should say. And of course, man, Lucio speed with the Garrosh pick potential, that is scary. And so Scorpius Eternum, though, still having a pretty good option with the Stukov. Does suffer a little bit from mobility problems, so he's going to have to be careful. And a very interesting pick here with the Yrel. Has fallen quite far in the meta ever since her healing output options have been limited and nerfed a little bit. She still is pretty good at zoning, still has decent wave clear and is a decent presence in that solo lane, but we've seen her fall off quite a lot, so we'll have to see how that pick affects their game here in game number 1. Meanwhile, Zeratul picked on the other side. We've seen Ziltoid playing that quite a bit this season, and the Leoric going to be picked up here for Ulysses in that off lane. Good answer to Yrel. Probably the next best option next to Malthael. I feel like Malthael is probably her biggest counter, but Leoric also with the percentage-based damage, definitely a good option against Yrel. And the Vala. Again, a very interesting pick from Scorpius Eternum. They do have the double front line to try and protect these two backline damage dealers, but the Zeratul on the other side, I'm a little worried is going to maybe cause a problem for the triple squish backline here for Scorpius Eternum. They don't have quite as much ability to push in and zone as I would like for this kind of map objective here on the Shrines. But, you know, we'll have to see how it turns out for them. Maybe they know something that I don't. All right, so getting into game number 1 for these teams. I want to thank everybody for hopping on and watching this match, as well as the teams for giving us something interesting to watch. It's always fun to see these teams hop in and enjoy some good old-fashioned amateur HOTS competition. And we'll see how this one turns out. Infernal Shrines, definitely one of my favorite maps. Very straightforward in terms of map objective priorities, as well as camp taking timings. You know, pretty easy to map out and execute, but also pretty easy to interrupt as well because they're kind of predictable. Anyway, on the left, we have a logical decision. We've got Team Captain Wono playing the Tyrande. Snowglare going to be on the Jaina. Ulysses going to be playing Leoric. E-Day15 going to be on the Diablo. And Ziltoid on the Zeratul. Meanwhile, on the right, Scorpius Eternum. We've got Judo Chop on the Yrel. Ainathi going to be on the Garrosh. Soap Girl going to be on the Tyrande. Or no, sorry, the Kael'thas. That other backline damage dealer that's not a healer. Illitheth going to be on the Vala. And Devil You Know going to be on the Stukov. I like Soap Girl riding the Soap mount. That works. That works. Bring in the talents for you all. And right off the bat, we're going to see Yrel nope on up to the top lane. And massive wave clear potential coming in from Logical Decision. And we'll see Leoric marching his way onto the top lane. Ulysses going to be having some fun up here with the percentage-based damage. We'll see what Judo Chop can do. It's a nice Austin Powers reference, by the way. Judo Chop. Well, 4-man rotation by both teams here. Scorpius Eternum has the wave clear to be able to keep up with them. They're just a little bit late on this first rotation. So we'll have to see if they want to adjust. E-Day trying to dismount, does successfully knock a couple people off their horses there with that fire stomp. Pretty common level 1 talents across the board. Globes for both Kael'thas and Jaina, trying to help with that mana regen. Yeah, everything's pretty standard from what I can tell. Of course, I'm not an expert in all of these heroes, of course, but certainly the backline damage dealers and the healer picks not surprising me at all. Let me know what you guys think, though. If you guys see anything that you are surprised by or interested in on these talents, I'll see if I can't glance over occasionally at the chat and check on what's going on. But pretty slow early game here. Neither team being particularly aggressive. Double camp capture in the mid, so those are just going to press back and forth. Though I do like Ziltoid up here soaking. Logical Decision, kind of taking a look at the bottom camp, but all 4 members rotating down. Means this is going to be a free camp here for Scorpius Eternum. Up in the top lane, Judo Chop getting kind of low. And Ulysses just having his way up here with the tanky Yrel option. It's not quite able to keep up in that damage department just yet. We'll have to see if that changes as the match goes along. Also doesn't seem to have the same self-sustained power. But of course that also depends on Leoric hitting that Drain Hope. But first Shrine activating here. Slight level lead for Logical Decision, but About half a level. Not bad to start, though. About as good as you can expect to get without kills in terms of a level advantage early. They'll definitely reach level 7 first, but I don't know if that's going to be before the actual objective. And Ulysses actually able to wraith walk away from that gank attempt. A little bit close there. We will see the members coming back in for the objective now. 14 lead early here for Logical Decision, so they're getting rewarded for this nice rotation early. Once again, Ulysses is going to have to wraith walk out of a rough situation there. Ziltoid in a little bit of trouble. Inothi hits the toss, and that's going to be first blood going over to Scorpius Eternum, and they're looking for more. They're putting out quite a lot of damage onto the members here. Inothi looking for another possible target. Multiple members low on both sides, but for now they're both just going to walk away. 12 minion lead, going to be slowly evaporating here with the wave clear power of Kael'thas over on Scorpius Eternum, and it looks like right now Logical Decision is basically conceding this. No Zeratul, they don't want to take the 4v5, and though they had the rotational advantage and the lead, Scorpius Eternum able to turn this around and take this map objective for themselves. I do like the response, though, from Logical Decision. These early Punishers, not incredibly strong, so they send their members out to soak in the other lanes. They now have level 7, and despite that first blood for Scorpius Eternum, they keep about a half-level lead right now, and are able to bait the Punisher over the wall. And yeah, Scorpius Eternum not even going to really try and get much more out of this. They get the gate and one of the turrets. They're going to look for getting a second one. We'll be able to get the whole front wall here, and just a tiny bit of damage on the fort. Really, I don't know, not much out of it. Oh, E-Day with the huge charge in. We'll flip him over. But nice zoning lurking arm there. And E-Day actually not checking the camp. I thought he might find a couple members out there, but able to avoid that situation as Scorpius Eternum. And so far, it's a pretty good game. Yeah, free camp, but also losing soak. Totally right, B-Med. They don't have that member in mid, or they didn't have that member in mid, so Zeratul got some extra soak. And that's probably most of what this half-level lead is, to be honest with you. Despite that one kill. So we'll see both teams slowly marching towards level 10. Both teams on pace to have it before the next map objective, which will be up in the top lane. Putting a little bit less of a priority on these camps in the top. We might even see one team rotate to grab it early, just to have a little extra push. Maybe get a little bit of a rotational advantage onto the actual shrine itself. Zeratul up here in the top lane, as we see Leor kind of rotating around, soaking mid. Able to avoid that gank attempt once again is Ulysses. He's been pretty safe so far. Everybody's been playing pretty safe. There was a little scuffle over that one shrine. One person died and both teams walked away without any other kills. So we're going to see, though. Level 10's coming in here soon for Logical Decision. They will have the opportunity to force, and they're in a position where they could, though it would be a 4v3. Don't necessarily want to see that. Oh, Ulysses actually gets tossed over, though. Forcing the issue here is Scorpius Eternum. They get the Leo, and they also bait out the Lightning Breath from Diablo. That's a pretty good get here for Scorpius Eternum. They'll get level 10. And, I'm sorry, give me just 1 minute, folks. What is going on there? Oh, my TV was acting up there. Very strange. All right. Now that I could see the OBS once again, we do see Judo Chop grabbing this camp up in the top. He's going to have to end up being here. Mana problems, if nothing else. Both teams actually going to grab the same camp, so nobody should be particularly early for this next camp setup. E-Day diving in. Gonna try and see if they can find somebody out. Huge Entomb on the backside of that. But Diablo ends up going down, so it's a 1-for-1, and Diablo's soul's actually traded out. Leoric is also going to go down, though. Once again, he will be coming back a little faster than your average hero, so I don't know. Would you trade Diablo's souls and the Leo kill for a Stukov? It's an interesting trade idea there. So I would say Scorpius Eternum got the better of that exchange, but not by a whole lot. Diablo's souls, of course, are a pretty big factor in that. It's going to be tough for him to sustain through this without all that extra health. They do get started on there, though. They get the first 6 to start this off. The charge in and the stun follow-up is good. 2-man Lunar Flare coming in from Wono. And Ide getting extremely low with the help of that Phoenix. And he is going to go down. So actually, Scorpius Eternum able to walk away from that without any deaths, despite the great combo. And they are going to be marching up to the members of Logical Decision, trying to get them out here. We do see Ulysses throw down that Entomb once again, trapping the members in close, but actually Garrosh, walking into tower range, is going to be taken down. He did zone him away, though, for a little bit here. But the lead is, well, actually, they get tied here on the points. With the 3-man VP, they're trying to isolate and kill Soap Girl. And the Lunar Flare just a little bit too early to combo off of that. But the Kael'thas does end up falling. The Starfall, really good there from Wono. Charge in and the flip on to Devil You Know. He tries to shove him back a little bit, but it's actually Stukov that ends up going down in that situation. And so back and forth they go. This fight is just going, it's a big seesaw up here in the top lane. Meanwhile, big wave amassing in the bot lane. We're putting some serious pressure onto that fort. And the Archaean Punisher will be picked up here for Logical Decision. So they win more of the team fighting. They didn't win it the whole time, but they won it enough to be able to get this map objective. We'll jump in on to Inothi. Inothai. I'm going to go with Inothi. Archaean Punisher, so the members of Scorpius Eternum having to play a little bit of Mario with these Archaean lines. Inothi ends up getting caught out here. It's just gonna be the 1 kill to catch Garrosh out a little bit, but the fort does go down. So nice get overall for Logical Decision. Still got about a little bit more than a half-level lead. It hasn't extended much. As we see both teams returning to lane. But Judo Chop gonna get stunned out of that hop. Does end up popping the ult, but you see them holding their cooldowns, and as soon as that goes down, great discipline for Logical Decision as they pick up another kill. 6-5 on the counter, so these teams are going back and forth pretty well so far. Oh, Snowglare getting tossed in. The taunt comes out. Great lurking arm under that. And the VP from Ziltoid just a little bit too late to stop it. And so right back to 6-6 we go. Oh, man. You know, we speculated early in the season that we felt like B West was going to be a pretty tight division overall. And that's exactly what we're seeing. We're seeing quite a lot of split series, and we're seeing quite a lot of back and forth games. So really nice to see that competition coming in. Got to give a huge shout out to the members of the competition committee, as well as any of the staff members really that participated in the placements this season. We haven't seen, you know, it's still early, but I don't feel like we've seen too many misplaced teams just yet. Couple teams that we might have to look out for, but for the most part we're seeing a lot of pretty good competition in NGS out of the first week and a half or so far. So I'm looking forward to seeing where else it goes. But tonight, we got 2 B West teams just going back and forth, punching each other in the mouth. Let's see who gets the last punch in. That's usually what determines the win. Ulysses is going to get tossed in, does have Wraithwalk available, and will do just that to get out, and it's Garrosh that actually ends up getting collapsed on and ultimately taken down. Ziltoid getting kind of low. Great Entomb there. Going to trap Illideth in the corner. Nobody puts Illideth in the corner except for Ulysses, apparently. And the Starfall coming down to the zone just a little bit as well. So somehow, from all of that, from all of those ults and all of that stuff, we're going to walk away with just one more kill again on the Garrosh. But again, Logical Decision able to take huge advantage from that. Now, Yrel does push the minion wave in and top. So it gets a little bit of extra soak on the back end of that. But they get the fort, does Logical Decision, in that bot lane. This map objective, they still have the fort in the mid, but it guarantees that the next shrine will spawn in the top or the bottom. And that's going to be somewhere where Scorpius Eternum does not have a well or the fort to fall back to. They'd probably prefer it in the bot because they could still fall back to the mid one, but it looks like they're actually not going to end up getting this map objective. So that mid fort, probably not long for this world, if I'm being honest. It'll be quite a defense coming in from Scorpius Eternum. If they either take this shrine back at this point, or if they defend the Punisher to the point where they don't lose their fort. Now they are catching up a little bit, but still just 7 away is Logical Decision. You got a couple, yeah. So 33 to 10. They're actually backing off, and they're going to grab their camp. I don't know exactly what they're waiting for. They're just kind of letting them back into the race here. But we do see 3 more picked up there. Ziltoid kind of bouncing around, looking to see what he can get. Ulysses as well up in that top area. And that is going to be it. Frozen Punisher coming out for Logical Decision. And Garrosh caught in no man's land out there. You do see Ulysses getting the Entomb on Illideth. John Cena going to jump in. But here comes Judo Chop, supplying the armor almost enough to get Vala out. But Ide says, no thank you, sir. Charges in, gets the kill. We also see the Yrel falling as well. So it's 0 for 3 right as the Punisher comes out. This is going to be devastating for Scorpius Eternum. This is not when you want to lose your main defense heroes. The only one left is Kael'thas to try and zone this out and see what it can do in terms of the wave clear. But with Ziltoid here chopping down this sidewall, Soap Girl knows that you just can't get too close. Devil, you know, going to end up going down. The Punisher getting in on that one as well. And now the side of Logical Decision focusing their eyes on this keep. We're going to get the mid keep again. Punisher jumping in, this time on Inothi. That's the right target, but it's still going to be a blow up here. Yrel going to go ahead and pop the ult, absorbing some of that lightning shield. VP comes down, if nothing else, just for zoning for Ziltoid here. And Judo Chop getting kind of low. If they get some kills here, this actually could end up being the end of the game. They will be able to take down Yrel once again. Illideth popping the strafe on the backside. And for now, it looks like they're going to be just content. Well, they're actually, no, they're sticking around. I can't quite make out what these guys are doing. They are going to look to get Illideth. Oh, the Lunar Flare just barely, that looked like it hit to me. Maybe I got a little lag or something, but that looked like it was dead center. But either way, we are going to see the core falling. Logical Decision. A very decisive finish to this game after back and forth. We saw 6 kills to 6 kills, and then 8 unanswered kills by Logical Decision to finish up game number 1. What do you think, Sarah? The match puts you to sleep? Everything puts you to sleep. But if you're not a cat and you can't get excited by that match, you might want to check for a pulse. Very back and forth throughout the whole thing. But at the end of the day, Logical Decision just riding that wave from that, from that first, or from that last Punisher there. Just getting a couple kills and then just staggering the kills like crazy for Scorpius Eternum. We'll give you guys a look at the talents, though, before we head on into map number 2. Pretty standard Jaina build. I really like the Winter Mute with the Icy Veins. Those two together end up being 60-second cooldowns, and then the Water Elemental mimicking everything you do. You can pretty much blow up anybody at that point with a cost of no mana. with the Icy Veins. One of the strongest things in the game, in my opinion. And that damage definitely ramped up near the end. Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and take just a little mini break. Just a little tiny one before we go ahead and head on into game number 2. We'll get this all set up for you and we'll come back in just a couple moments. Sit tight. You know, I take it back. We're not going to need 2 minutes. These guys are super pros. We've already got the maps picked and lobby set up here. So Scorpius Eternum electing for first pick. Map pick then going over to Tomb of the Spider Queen by logical decision. And these teams are ready to go. So let's head on in to the draft for game number 2. I've heard they're hitting the start button, so should be any second now. There we go. That's what we like to hear. Tomb of the Spider Queen for game number 2. Logical decisions map of choice here. Again, very heavy wave clear map. But poke does help you a little bit more with denying the turn-ins here on Tomb of the Spider Queen. One of the things that a lot of people don't talk about on Tomb that I really like to see is vision control. Uh-oh. Well, that's not what we wanted. We saw somebody from Scorpius Eternum drop there. It was just a DC. Okay. No problem. Looks like they are already back in. That was quick. We'll just take 2. No problem. Easy peasy. I'll wait for it. There it is. But yeah, vision control on this map can be very powerful, letting you know where the enemy team is going, where they're going to try and turn in so you can look to rotate and properly deny it. And I really like to see that. Heroes like Tyrande, heroes like Lunara that have really good wave clear, still do their jobs very well, and are decent in the meta, but provide that extra vision to be able to give you an idea of where the teams are going. So right away, the Imperious ban out by Scorpius Eternum. They don't want to see that on the board again. And we're going to see the Anna banned out once again from logical decision. There are a lot of really good heroes in the meta right now, so you can't ban them all out. Begs the question if second pick is almost better. But we are starting to see Azmodan drifting away from the meta a little bit, which is kind of nice. I have seen him make it through in a couple games, and those games have not been successful in coordinated play. I still think he's very strong in random play. But we are going to see the Kael'thas and the Diablo banned out this game. So not wanting to see more of E-Day throwing people around. And I can't really blame Scorpius Eternum for... Oh, actually, no, wait. It was Logical Decision that banned that out. Okay, never mind. I take it back. They just don't want to play it this game. And also don't want to see it on the other side. And I like Scorpius Eternum taking away the Jaina. They banned the KT. And now we're going to deny the Jaina from Snow Glare. That's gotta burn Snow Glare up, though. Jaina, basically his namesake at this point, but meanwhile, Anubarak going to be picked up along with Ziltoid back on his Zeratul. You gotta watch out. This guy plays a lot of Zeratul. Zeratul's really good in the meta right now. We've seen him quite prevalent in NGS Week 1, the beginning of Week 2 here. Goat Tech rooting for Scorpius. Sentier doesn't really care who wins. He just wants to see the teams do well. I like that. I'm with you on that, you know. If anything, I kind of want to see Scorpius Eternum win just so we can get a Game 3. Also, you know, Scorpius Eternum hasn't won a game yet, so that's always it's always a factor for me. I like to see everybody win some, you know. But I also, you know, I got those all those buddy staff members over at Logical Decision. I'm really torn on this one, guys. Anyway, we got Blaze and Lucio being picked up here for Scorpius Eternum. So kind of that dual threat of Lucio speed and Jaina slows. So they really should be able to outpace Logical Decision this game. Indubitably. Yeah, that's a great quote from Anubarak. Raynor and Tyrande banned out, so both teams wanting to deny a little bit of combination potential. The Raynor, a great combo with the Jaina slows and the Blaze oil spill slows. Tyrande just... Wono played a very, very good Tyrande last game, but he's going to swap it over to Malfurion. Malfurion's a pretty interesting hero that we've seen slowly working his way back into the meta a little bit recently. Great root CC follow-up to the Anubarak and the Zeratul VP, and definitely a good combination with that just massive Twilight Dream potential for that Wombo combo. And we will see the Greymane and the ETC coming out. Once again, though, the Greymane, kind of a pretty interesting pick. He's been falling out of the meta pretty hard for quite a while now. I've seen him popping up every now and then as if he might be trying to come back, but I haven't seen it be particularly effective just yet, though I'm willing to be convinced. Leoric also going to come out on the other side once again for Ulysses. So he's going to be looking to, once again, trap these people in that nice little corner of his world with that Entomb. So we got ETC Mosh Pit potential. Looking at the interrupt options. Of course, Anubarak's decent at it. Malfurion can do it with Twilight Dream, but it's a little tricky. And then, of course, Horrify. Definitely one of the strongest potential interrupts. So I'll have to see if maybe I know if he's looking more towards Stage Dive. So this is going to be Cursed Bullet or Go for the Throat. There's a lot of high health, a couple high health pools over on the side of Logical Decision. So definitely could see good value out of the Cursed Bullet. I don't know, it'll be interesting to see which one we see here. I'll definitely be interested in seeing it. Oh, goat. Silly, silly goat. Wait a minute, is that Goat Tech and Goat Net? Are there two different goats in my chat right now? I'm confused. And Goat... Wow, there's just goats everywhere. I'm very confused. Anyway, we are loading in here for game number 2. Let me get the right overlay set up. That'd be a good start. On the left, Logical Decision, looking for the 2-0 shutout and that sweet 3-point domination. E-Day going to be on the Anubarak. Ziltoid back on his patented Zeratul. Mono playing the Malfurion. Snow Glare going to be on the Gul'dan. And Ulysses back once again on his Leoric. Meanwhile, on the right, Scorpius Eternum, we've got Soap Girl playing the Jaina. Devil You Know going to be on the Lucio. Inothi on the ETC. Illideth on the Greymane. And Judo Chop going to be playing the Blaze. Both teams rotating into the mid. And Blaze actually rotating to the top. Typically, you see the solo laner actually on the bottom lane on this map. Good CC started there by E-Day, giving the side of Logical Decision the room they need to quickly rotate up to the top after clearing that wave. Now, once again, they're starting very well on the rotation game. Judo Chop gonna have to go ahead and pop that passive just for a little extra life. Meanwhile, Devil You Know coming down to the bot lane. So we've got solo lane Lucio. No, I think he's just covering it. Here comes Judo Chop. And they'll sit down here for a little bit. But rotational advantage definitely going to be gained by Logical Decision to start this off. This might be a little bit of miscommunication. No big deal. Level 1 talents, pretty much what you'd expect. Prog Rock and the both Globe talents there for the side of Scorpius Eternum. We are going to see the Corruption build coming out from Snow Glare. Wall Ride talent here for Lucio to start things off. There's a couple different decent level 1 options, especially with how much terrain there is and how much you end up riding around these turn-in points. I think Wall Ride definitely has its advantages. Both teams with pretty good sustain, but an entire wave missed here in the mid by Scorpius Eternum. Pretty rough in the early start to this match in terms of soak. They do manage to pick up some of the gems from that, but both teams dead even so far on the gem game. Nobody's turned anything in yet, so pretty even there. Ziltoid with a quick rotation to the top. Let's see. I thought that was supposed to be turned off. I don't know. We'll turn it off this way. I don't want to hear you guys. I don't want you guys to keep hearing beeps, random beeps from Discord. No, instead we're gonna hear them on my phone. Apparently, Discord just won't let me go, guys. Whether I'm eating lunch or whether I'm casting Heroes of the Storm, playing, it doesn't matter. Discord wants my attention all the time. Nice stun in from E-Day. They're trying to set up to get Inothi, but Devil You Know gonna go ahead and pop that healing and bring them back up to at least a decent amount of health. E-Day sitting in the bushes. Devil You Know comes in and just face checks it, no problem. I like the rotation out by Logical Decision. They've got a lot of their gems turned in, so at this point, they're just looking for whatever advantage they can get. Ziltoid blinking away in the mid there from that rotation. Quick camp grab, but this is going to allow the members of Scorpius Eternum to get a lot of their gems turned in. We've still got 17 down here on Judo Chop. Ulysses been doing a nice job of spiking some of his gems in at the bottom. Using that advantage in lane that he's getting over Judo Chop to score the turn-ins. Really like that call. Judo Chop gonna go ahead and head back around to the camp. Oh no, just going the long way to try and force a 4v5 here. Or maybe, oh, he's going around to turn into the top. That's pretty clever, but Ziltoid's gonna sniff that out. And E-Day will be there for the interrupt. I like the call, but again, pretty interesting rotation. As it's gonna leave Ulysses down here in the bottom completely alone, just getting that extra XP. And he will rotate back to the bot. Logical Decision doing a very nice job of goaltending at this point. They did allow a lot of those gems to go in the top when they got their mid camp. Oh, Jaina falling in the top lane. Nice rotation there from Logical Decision. But meanwhile, a 4v2 here in the bot. And Ulysses gonna end up going down. And that's a lot of gems on the floor. Ziltoid is here to pick him up, though. The members of Scorpius Eternum not guarding. But that is going to allow a lot of the gems to be turned in for Scorpius Eternum. I know they're trying to score that one last one. Good zoning from the rest of the members, but Ulysses back now. He comes back so fast, man. Especially in the early game. Ziltoid maybe looking to try and be a little cheeky and get 21 of those in. Meanwhile, Devil You Know has got enough. He's got that one gem they need. And there it is. Despite all of the very good goaltending, Logical Decision going to give up the first turn in of the game to Scorpius Eternum. This might be just that momentum spike that they need. What they don't need is Illideth to fall here in the top lane. Ziltoid not quite able to provide enough damage there to get him down. Nice stuns from E-Day. But he is able to roll out of that situation. Meanwhile, we will see the side of Scorpius Eternum looking to push in with this top lane. Maybe? Nope, they're going to rotate back to the mid. Right as the Webweaver goes down, unfortunately. Nice clear coming in from Gul'dan. He's already got Corruption stacked. It's a pretty decent... that's 6 minutes on that stack. That was pretty good. Meanwhile, Jaina struggling to get any kind of frost-bitten damage. Only 600 out of the 15,000 needed for that ice block, which will be very useful against Ziltoid. You can see actually just scored about another 400 right there on Ziltoid. Doesn't need an ice block right now against him. Oh, meanwhile, we do see here in the bottom lane, members of Logical Decision trying to push forward, seeing if they can find a pick. Something to really enable them to be able to turn in. Level 10's coming in for Logical Decision, though. Massive Horrify. As we also see the Web Wrap go down onto Devil You Know, so not going to be any healing. Illideth getting very low. 3 members are here, and that's going to be a second kill. 2 for nothing exchange coming out for Logical Decision. And those 10s came in just at the right time for them. I know if he caught on the wrong side of this wall. It does have the healing from the fountain still up. So we'll be able to eventually get out of that situation. But meanwhile, Ziltoid owning a ton of gems there. Going to be able to turn in and score the first Webweavers for the side of Logical Decision. Level 10 should be in here, though, for Scorpius Eternum before these Webweavers actually hit the lanes. So they should be able to mount a pretty decent defense. The problem is they're all in bot lane right now, which is actually the most pushed out of the lanes. We do see the charge in from onto Snow Glare. But they turn around. A lot of nice damage coming in. Huge Entomb coming out from Ulysses on the flank. Web Wrap actually ends up going down onto Lucio. And they're going to be looking to zone out the other members and they just destroy him. Meanwhile, Greymane up in the top lane, clearing out the top Webweaver. Inothi in the bottom lane, clearing out the bottom Webweaver. And the total focus of Logical Decision, getting picks and getting the mid fort. They achieve both of those goals. And still have enough for another turn in. You can see they are lining up ready to get themselves a second set of Webweavers right off the bat. Meanwhile, on the other side, Scorpius Eternum, after being down Lucio, can't really contest that, so they're going to settle for a camp here. Logical Decision. Setting up to push the top. I'm actually kind of surprised that they're not pushing in already. I get the idea of stalling out the wave so the wave can push with the camp, but they also could have just been pushing with their decent siege damage itself. Plus, a lot of the waves still going to end up dying as the Webweaver actually positions and falls into place here. 3-man, make it a 4-man VP with the roots underneath, the stun. And Horrify out of that. The sound barrier actually does come out, but it's not going to be enough to save the side of Scorpius Eternum. Wombo comboed is the members of Scorpius Eternum. 3 for nothing, and ETC all the way in the off lane, but doesn't have stage dive. This is a mosh pit ETC, not with the team. Kind of a rough situation for the side of Scorpius Eternum. They do manage to clear out the bot Web Weaver, but the top keep is in dire straits here. Right now, Logical Decision looking for that ever-important first keep of the game. It does look like they're going to achieve that. The Web Weaver going to throw out that last wave. Wait a minute. Oh, it's going to be so close. The one minion gets taken out in the back, and they saved it. They saved it with 288 health. My goodness, folks. Incredibly close there. Think about it. Just one more auto attack from somebody from a Logical Decision. Probably would have done it. They didn't want to overstay, though. I do like the caution. Meanwhile, we're going to see the Entomb come out along with the Web Wrap. Blaze gets blown up. ETC does slide in, gets a huge mosh pit in the turnaround. Could be real here. Illadelph getting pretty low, though. Ziltoid on the chase. The roll, but we'll still be able to finish him off. Soap Girl very low as well, making it out with less than 50 health. Inothi is not going to be so lucky here in the top lane. Just no way for him to get out of this. Yeah, no way. Like I said, no way. Though I'll give him credit. You know, very good, running away there, dodging. We'll see Boss being picked up here for a Logical Decision after that team fight win. Scorpius Eternum is in the area. We got 3 members here. But oh, actually he's on the point. That is, but the bunker is going to take him off the point. And Judo Chop going to get chopped down by a combination of Boss plus Logical Decision. And that'll confirm the keep. That'll, yeah. Like I said before, no way. No way does that get saved. But right now, the members of Logical Decision, I don't know if they're going to push in with this one. It looks like they are. They go back and they clear enough to get level 16. And now they realize the win condition here are going to be able to come on in. Inothi taking a ton of poison damage from the Gul'dan. The root comes down. And that's going to be it. Ulysses is able to finish him off there with that giant hammer. Warhammer he's got there. The Boss, meanwhile, chunking down the core. The shields are gone. And the poison's starting to stack up on it as well. 3-man VP in the back. Just giving them a little extra room to operate here. Entomb comes out, and that is going to be it. Ladies and gentlemen, Logical Decision scoring themselves a domination here in Week 2 over Scorpius Eternum. Very clean play that entire game from Logical Decision. They took advantage of that XP lead early. Got the level 10s. Had a huge team fight and just kind of never looked back. Very good set from them overall. I'm going to reach out and see if we can get an interview with team captain Wono.
Hello, my friend.
Hello, Wono. Welcome. Congratulations on the win. How you guys feeling right now?
A hell of a lot better than our game against you guys, that's for sure.
Ha! How did I know you were going to say that?
Because I'm still salty about Phoenix capping. You sneaky little crab.
Well, yeah, you know, I guess. I mean, if it makes any difference, I did take the level 4 talent that gives me increased speed when I was on shield, so I wasn't just crawling over.
There you go.
Anyway,
it's a fast crawl.
Enough about that. You guys just won the series very, very handily. Tell me a little bit about your guys' comms going into the second half of that game, which was a little bit back and forth, but then you guys really took it by the throat on the back half there.
Yeah, so comms has been something that we've kind of been hammering on with us as a team and with our coaches, John Knight and Noah. So we're always looking to improve our talk and our communication and make better calls. So honestly, this game compared to pretty much anything scrims or games beforehand was just like crazy. The amount of communication and on the same page that we had as far as a team. Especially towards the back half, we communicated that we were definitely more of a scaling comp than we were. So we knew to play it pretty slow in the early game. Don't take fights. Don't a noob burrow in unless we really had to. There was a little bit of a kerfuffle when we were trying to stall the bot turn in there, which cost us our only death of the game. But we knew like as the game progressed that we would start outscaling them and be able to take those fights a lot better than they were.
Yeah, and you guys definitely did. Also, wanted to comment. We've seen a lot of Ziltoid Zeratul play, not only in this set but in previous sets. What do you think of that hero in your guys' team dynamic in terms of how much it shapes your drafts and your gameplay in general?
Um, as far as shaping our drafts, I don't think it shapes our drafts too much. I think we've just identified Zeratul as an objectively strong hero in the hands of someone who can play him competently. So we don't normally draft with like Zeratul, Void Prison Wombos in mind or anything like that. As you can see, we didn't go Ring of Frost or APOC in the first game to pair with his VP. So it's more, are we able to get Zeratul? Do we? If yes, then we take him pretty much because he's a good team fight hero. He's got good wave clear. He's got good macro. He can gank well. He basically does everything that you want in an assassin. His only kind of shortcoming right now is that he's a little bit weaker in the early game, so we just need to pay a little more attention to how we're playing our early game.
Yeah, Ulysses also playing Leoric. Um, we've seen him with some crazy entombs in both of these sets. Is that more of a comfort for him? Is that another hero you guys think are just really strong in the meta? Tell me a little bit about Ulysses Leoric.
It's definitely a bit of both. Like, I think Leoric for a while now has been kind of quietly one of the top tier offlane heroes, and Ulysses definitely agrees with that. Um, he has been playing him a fair amount, which has kind of led towards the comfort on the hero, and obviously it shows when he's hitting some god tier entombs like he is. Like he can literally carry games with his entombs. Besides that, it was just a really strong matchup for Leoric into Blaze and Leoric into ETC. It was basically just like free Leoric pick for him, so he figured why not pick a strong hero I'm comfortable with who's good in this matchup.
All right, so we've seen a little bit of the analyst shows, a little bit of the opinions on where you guys think you might be in the division for B West this season. Having seen the first week of play, playing a few of the teams, where do you guys feel like you fall in this division moving forward into the rest of the season?
I'm still confident that we are a top tier team and a force to be reckoned with when we're on our A game. Consistency is a little bit of an issue that we've struggled with, as I'm sure you've noticed. You've scrimmed us and played us a number of times. Some games we're on our game, and other games, like our last game against you guys on Cursed, we just kind of fall apart. That being said, when we're at our best and playing our game, I definitely think we are in the running to take the whole division.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a theme of B division players. You know, a lot of us have
Mhm.
the skills we need to maybe be able to compete in that or higher divisions, but the consistency isn't always there. So
It's putting it all together consistently, doing it game after game. That's where, yeah, I think a lot of teams can kind of run into some issues where they have games where they look like Div A or even maybe even heroic teams, and then games where they look like they belong in C or D Div. So I think it's just about whichever team in this very close division can consistently get the same results out of their players. And there's honestly quite a few teams that I can see that would probably be able to take that top spot with that kind of consistency.
yeah, only time will tell, but very well put. And congratulations again on the win tonight. If you have any shout outs you'd like to make, the floor is yours.
Yeah, as always, shout out to the rest of the team, Logical Decision. You guys are great. Shout out to John Knight One and Noah, our awesome coaches who have helped us come a long ways since starting with them. Shout out to Scorpius Eternum. I know it probably wasn't the results that they wanted tonight, but they were good competitors, and I look forward to seeing what they do. And thanks to you for casting, Jay.
Yeah, absolutely. It was quite a fun match to watch, and I'll be looking forward to seeing how you guys do in the rest of the season. It's been really fun to see you guys play, and especially so many of the staff members on your team. I think you guys might be winning the race for most staff members on one team. So it'll be really interesting to see how you guys finish out.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Jason.
Thank you. All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for me tonight. We had 2 awesome replay casts earlier, so you guys can check out that match and this match soon on my YouTube if you guys want. Of course, I would be remiss if I didn't tell you guys to also go take a look at the YouTube page for NGS. All of the archive matches are there, and a new episode of Nexus Now with Wono and all the other panelists and members of that squad. Born to Shine also appearing as a special guest on this week's episode. Finally, last shout out I want to make is for the Thursday night showdown, 7 p.m. with a 6:30, 6:45 start time for the pregame show on the Nexus Gaming Series or Nexus Gaming Series Twitch channel. Be sure to check that out as we've got a Division A match this week. Gimme the D Shield versus Nobo E-Sprouts. Should be a great matchup there. And yeah, well, for the Nexus Gaming Series, I am Jay Zahn, and we're going to see you guys next time. Have a good night, everybody.